She moved in on a Tuesday. Quiet, polite, no moving truck, no boxes, just a woman standing at the door of the house across the street like she had always belonged there. My name is Cara, and I need to tell you what happened before I convince myself it wasn't real. The neighbor introduced herself as Mara. She baked bread for everyone on the block within the first week. She remembered every person's name, every detail. My daughter mentioned she liked sunflowers once in a passing conversation, and 3 days later, a pot of them appeared on our porch. Just flowers. It should have felt kind. Instead, it felt like a test. The first strange thing happened on a Friday evening. I was standing at my kitchen window watching the street when Mara walked past under the lamppost. Something was wrong with the light. Not flickering, not broken, just wrong. The glow bent around her differently than it bent around everything else, like she existed slightly outside the rules the rest of the world was following. I wrote it off. Stress, I told myself, long week. Then came the mirror incident. My daughter Sophie invited Mara inside for tea. I was upstairs, but I heard them laughing, genuinely warm and easy. Curious, I walked to the top of the stairs. From that angle, I could see directly into the hallway mirror, the one facing the living room. I could see Sophie. I could see the couch, the bookshelf, the window behind them. I could not see Mara. I gripped the banister and told myself it was the angle. I walked down slowly, casually. Checked the mirror again from 3 different positions. Nothing. Just empty air where a woman was very clearly sitting. Mara looked up at me with that perfect smile and said she was so glad we were finally getting to know each other. Here is where it gets worse. I started researching old folklore, mythology, regional legends, creatures that present as human but cast no reflection, beings that integrate into communities slowly, learning behavior, mirroring warmth until they understand what holds a place together, until they understand what is worth taking. I found nothing definitive, but I found enough to be scared. The clincher happened last Sunday. Sophie was sick, running a fever. Mara knocked on the door with soup before I had told a single person Sophie was unwell. When I asked how she knew, Mara tilted her head slightly and said she simply had good instincts about people she cared about. She is still out there, every morning gardening, every evening waving from the porch, always perfectly timed, always perfectly pleasant. Here is the thing about predators. The dangerous ones never look dangerous. They look safe. They look like exactly what you needed. I have started keeping the curtains closed. I have stopped letting Sophie answer the door alone. And every morning I check our hallway mirror just to remind myself what a real reflection looks like. Mara waves at me from across the street. I do not wave back. If a new neighbor ever seems impossibly perfect, pay attention to what is missing. Sometimes the absence is the truth.